Okay, the last thing that we need to cover today is molecular formula. For molecular formula, we need to have the information about the empirical formula. So when we have percentages, the first step is always calculating the empirical formula. Why? The empirical formula is the minimum ratio between the elements. For example, if you have the elements carbon and hydrogen forming this compound, carbon 3, hydrogen 6, or carbon 4, hydrogen 8, or carbon, hydrogen 2. All of these are going to have the same empirical formula. The empirical formula is going to be carbon, hydrogen 2, because in this one we can simplify. Yes? So when we calculate the empirical formula, what it gives you is this ratio, but that it doesn't give you any of these values. For these values, we need to have the molar mass or the molecular mass of the compound. That tells me how much is the addition of all the elements in that compound. Okay? But with these numbers, not with these ones alone. So we are going to do this exercise, calculating first the empirical formula and then looking at all the values that we need for calculating the molecular formula. So, which are the elements that are present in the compound? Carbon and hydrogen. So I'm going to put carbon here and hydrogen here. Yes? We're going to follow the same steps first for calculating the empirical formula because we need that first. So the value that we are going to put at the top here are the percentages. Exactly. 85.71 and 14.29, which is the mass of carbon. So the atomic masses are going to be in this case 12 and in this case 1. Yes? Okay, perfect. So this is 14.29 and this number somebody has to give it to me. 7.142. Now, which is the value that is smaller? The carbon. So we're going to divide by the smallest value. So 7.142 and 7.142. And I put a division line in both. So the numbers are going to be 1 and 2. So my empirical formula is going to be carbon 1, that I don't put anything, hydrogen 2. Yes? Now, how much is the mass of this compound? It's 12 plus 2, so it's going to be 14, yes? Now, for calculating the actual molecular formula, we need to know how many times 14 gets into this number. So what we are going to do is the molecular mass or the molar mass of the compound divided by the empirical mass or the empirical formula. In this case, it's going to be 84 divided by 14. 84 is the mass that they give us. They have to give us some way of calculating, or they are going to give us directly the mass of the 1 mole. Okay? Or they are going to say the molecule has 7 carbons, for example, or the molecules have, I don't know, 12 carbons. So you need to get the same ratio. So in this case, 84 divided by 14 is 6. Means that this one multiplied by exactly 6 is going to be my formula for the compound, the molecular formula. So CH2 multiplied by 6 is C6H12. if I add them up, they should give me 84 grams per mole. Did you understand? So they have to give you the mass of the molar mass, or they're going to say, okay, the compound, instead of having one only carbon, is going to have 6 carbons. So you cannot put 6 here and leave the 2 here. You need to multiply everything by 6. Do you understand? Yes? Good.